We're back! Thank you so much for the interaction and support on the last video. It was super cool to see all the animatronic gremlins come together to tie up the loose ends on Captain Andy's River Town. I am a pursuer of truth, so if there's anything I get wrong in any of my videos, just go down into the description and I'll have updates and corrections down there. Read the description of the content you consume. And if you read the comments, you'll find a lot of people with more information than I had in the video, which is super cool. Captain Andy! Yes! I even got some requests. You want an apology? I've got you, cowboy. You're kidding about me doing the Smarties Pizza Brigade? Ooh, I'll do the Smarties Pizza Brigade. I'll cry, but I'll do it. I'm going on a vacation later this month, so this is the only time I have to film comfortably for a while. So I thought to do something really easy. An animatronic band that everyone knows about and all the information is there and I don't have to dig and cry and forget to sleep. The video is going to be so short! So hey, have you ever been to the circus? After the failure and oversaturation of the 1980s pizza arcade, it returned in a new form in the 1990s, with a vengeance. Discovery zones and family entertainment centers, dubbed FECs, popped up everywhere. FECs weren't just focused on being an arcade or being a restaurant. Instead, they were focused on a place parents could take their children in order to go buck wild for a price. Among the multiple complexes sprouted a vividly colored multi-floored gymnasium called Circus World Pizza. And for Circus World Pizza, an animatronic band reminiscent of the decade prior was commissioned and created. The Circus World Jamboree was born. Circus World Jamboree. I love the Circus World Jamboree. I remember first coming across them. Do you remember Funtown? Funtown Guntown? Were you there for that? I was. Ugh. That was in like 2016. That was so long ago. In retrospect, it's a very depressing story. In the 1970s, there was this themed site called Guntown Mountain, an Old West park that took its visitors into the past. It sat on top of a secluded bluff, making visitors take a ski lift up to reach it. And Guntown Mountain had everything. Yeehaw cowboys, can-can girls, gunfights, hangings, real family-friendly stuff. It's only partially a joke because, in actuality, kids love that stuff. I still remember going to Deadwood, South Dakota when I was a kid, and they have like the death of Wild Bill Hickok, and I was crazy about it. My whole sketchbook from that time is me drawing the guy who shot him, because I was just a little too fixated on that. Kids love cowboys and they love executions. I don't make the rules. So at Guntown Mountain for a day, you would time travel into the old Wild West with all the Westworld. I'm just describing Westworld. It was in 2013 that Guntown Mountain closed after 44 years of operation. In 2015, Guntown Mountain was bought by a man who had grand ideas for the property. He made himself a public figure, did Kickstarters, purchased animatronics, bought the property for an insane amount it was not worth in the slightest, and fell into very, very bad debt. I know I'm smiling, it's just a natural thing for me, okay? Guntown Mountain was renamed Funtown Mountain, repainting an F over the existing G, which is very, very funny. This owner of Funtown Mountain admitted in a 2018 article that he was in the early stages of a manic episode when doing all of this, and the plan for Funtown Mountain didn't make much sense. Then came a very unfortunate public breakdown, during which he went to Funtown Guntown Mountain and damaged it, encouraged looters, and bloggers went to Funtown Mountain documenting the damage he did to his own property. He lost his businesses, plural, his money, he was being sued. Worse, he was the Funtown Man, as in the entire event was public knowledge and everyone knew what he did. Which obviously is horrifying. The brain is scary. That's you up there! As I mentioned, urban explorers and bloggers swarmed Funtown Guntown Mountain after this incident. And the videos did very well because of the drama, and the abandoned animatronics lying around the park in various states of disrepair. You can tell they were purchased without any plan or cohesion. Where were all of these animatronic shows going to go? Among the mess, you could find good shots of a lion, a penguin, a bear. Not looking so hot. At the time, I wanted to find footage of these specific animatronics. I want to watch them sing and dance and be in their prime. And the only video I could find was this.
Hi, gang. We hope you're all having as much fun at Circus World as we are. There's a barrel of fun for you every day. So come on, ladies, shake your cares away.
So I don't mean to be picky, but do you notice something wrong with this video?
Take a look around and you will see. Circus World people, you can tell you too. Here we come to the circus world, circus world, relax.
The Circus World Jamboree is a small animatronic show, and originally built for the Circus World Pizza chain, a venture of the Illinois-based Brunswick Corporation. They already had experience making recreational centers for adults, adult entertainment centers, if you will, like bowling alleys. It's a bad joke, I'm sorry. So expanding into children's entertainment kind of made sense. The Brunswick Corporation had actually been ping-ponging the idea of making a family pizza arcade back in the 80s, but then they didn't because it was a very bad idea. So it was in the 1990s, of the growing popularity of FECs, that Arnold Fogel, who was the president of the Brunswick Recreation Centers Division, was given the go-ahead to build a prototype of Circus World Pizza. The concept for Circus World Pizza was to combine the best of places like Chuck E. Cheese with the best of places like the Discovery Zone, merging them together into the ultimate pizza complex. The first experimental location was built in Salt Lake City, Utah. When Brunswick chairman Jack Rakehart flew into Utah to see how the Salt Lake location was going, he must have been impressed because 12 more locations were greenlit. They opened Circus World Pizza in cities deemed high-end children, between the ages of 3 and 12, their target demographic. Note that a lot of these earlier types of establishments, while definitely geared towards children, were trying to please the whole family. There were things specifically tailored for teens and adults to enjoy themselves, like beer and bosom-rich hippos. It's weird that it happened twice, right? Circus World Pizza was unapologetically aimed at children, to the point where some reports on Circus World Pizza felt very anti-teenager. Shame, because who wouldn't want to go through a punching bag forest? I want to go through a punching bag forest. You're just like smacking shit. I think there should be adult centers with punching bag forests. Circus World Pizza's animatronic show was created by the still active Advanced Animations, founded in 1971 by Dan Long and Bob Marquez. I have a tag for them, of course. But Dan and Bob, they don't get to be faces on our board because they sold the company in 1991 to Steve Toff and his company, Visual Services Incorporated. And because Steve Toff is like a businessman, he's a Sesame Street letter. That's what happens to you when you are a businessman. Advanced Animations has gone on to do very familiar work in very familiar places. It's a very successful company. In the 80s, the company moved from Connecticut to Vermont, where it is located to this day. I always forget the strain. If you noticed in the Captain Andy video, I wrapped it around Captain Andy and I completely forgot about it. The entire video, the strain is just hanging there. I'll try to remember the strain this time. A total of 8 sets of the animatronic band Circus World Jamboree were made between 1991 and 1994. Now we get to talk about the band! They look okay? They look good. I need to relax a little bit. I'm the most chill person I know. The Circus World Jamboree consists of 6 automated characters, 4 full-bodied characters, and then 2 smaller ones. The main band here consists of Lucky the Lion. Lucky the Lion is... I just had a great idea. Hold on just a second. Check it out. I have been waiting to use this my entire life. It's been with me for so long and I've never used it, not once. But now I can... I'm the most chill person I know.
The power
Lucky the Lion! Leader of the band, he wears a cute little ringleader's outfit, and he has a lion's whip, which is kind of weird. He is married to Lucy the Lioness, a trapeze pro who does absolutely no trapezing to speak of. Her swinging animation is a little slow for me, honestly. She's like zero gravity. I want to talk a bit about Lucky and Lucy's relationship. Usually in children's media, characters' relationships tend to be vague. What I mean is the only time the characters will be married is if they have children, if they are mom and dad. So it's very strange to have a show completely directed at children where the main characters are married and have absolutely no children. I love them. Honestly though, I can't think of any main characters in children's media that are married and child-free. You know, main characters. If I think of anything, I'll let you know. But that's why Lucky and Lucy are cool. Barney the Bear. He plays the drum. He's just happy to be here. Peter the Penguin and his magical singing pipes. Peter the Penguin is a player of a sentient calliope that he totally did not sell his soul for. And even if he did, there are no lasting effects all the way around. Peter's actually my favorite. I love how demonic the pipes sound.
We can sound just like a merry-go-round.
And I love how his neck breaks every time he looks around. It's very Exorcist. Your mother plays the calliope in hell. So these four are the main band. And then we have the two side characters. Hanky the Clown, a mute character who rolls around on the high wire. And finally, we have the fabulous Flying Bodini, the clown cannonball that always misses his target. But who knows? Maybe he'll make it next time. Bodini is trapped in purgatory. The four main band members' placements are on stage, with Lucky running the show, Lucy swinging to and fro, Barney beating the drum, and Peter making the keys hum. Bodini and Hanky were then installed in high places around the room. The main band's story, being told through song, is that they are circus animals that formed the band after learning instruments, even though technically only two of the members play instruments. There's a reason their origin song doesn't make much sense, and has to do with another animatronic band, and that would be the 1980s Circus Playhouse Band.
Listen to the Circus Playhouse Band.
Not only were they similar concepts, but some songs and characters were suspiciously similar. Online, there's speculation that the restaurants were connected, a spiritual successor, a knockoff, a cheaper 2.0. Nah. Looking at the numbers the Brunswick Corporation spent on Circus World Pizza, calling it cheap is laughable. Just because the animatronic show is very much downsized compared to Circus Playhouse does not mean it's cheap. There is obvious inspiration drawn because of a common link both share that we'll get into a little later in part 4. But that link we'll discuss in part 4 isn't the corporate side of either establishment. In short, too many people online spread the unsupported speculation that Jamboree is an official revival of Playhouse because of the similarities the animatronic shows share. Nah, the companies are completely separate, and unless there's evidence, we should definitely be treating them like the separate entities that they are. So stick around for that, I guess.
Look at her. So young and full of life. Like she didn't completely miss an entire 7th character.
That's right. There's a 7th character. Hey, I'm editing Raya. I biffed, which is why you're seeing me. So most footage I've been showing of the band is from advanced animations, displaying the show to potential buyers. The video shows the main four on stage, Hanky and Bodini. No one else. And on the advanced animation website listing the show, only 6 characters are shown to come with the purchase. So who is the secret 7th character? The first inkling is very much on display, in your face. In the lyrics of the very first song, the one that I brought up earlier that tells the band's story, Lucy the Lion sings this.
And Mighty Mac the Mouse.
Oh yeah, Mighty Mac the Mouse. Of course, who the f is that?
Mighty Mac the Mouse. Watch him hang upside down.
That's really all the information that we get. So Mighty Mac the Mouse must be some kind of trapeze act. And then I remembered, looking at footage of Circus World Jamboree, you may put together that owners of the band also happen to own a simple automaton. This guy. a tiny trapeze performer, never with the band, never a clear image, but present in each ownership. Could this be him? Yes, this is him. I biffed. He's not listed with what you'd acquire when purchasing the show from Advanced Animations. There's this photo, which shows him a little bit clearer, but yeah, that's obviously the same figure. This is Mighty Mac the Mouse, and he's supposed to be installed above Barney the Bear's head. I don't know why they stopped installing him. Other than 2 song mentions, he's never acknowledged, he's never talked to, he never talks. He may as well not exist. You know, like Hanky the Clown is also a mute character, but Hanky the Clown gets a song. Hanky the Clown has people interacting with him. So I guess it's not really a surprise that this character is just completely forgotten about, not only by Advanced Animations, the people who made him. I know I'm not the only person who forgot Mighty Mac the Mouse existed. He doesn't get a song, he doesn't get a listing. I don't think you could buy him. I don't think they'll sell you him. Still, I'm a little embarrassed that I nearly missed him. I biffed, but I didn't. I didn't miss him. He has a whole section in this video now. All right, I'm going to go. Editing Raya. Unlike the Captain Andy video, I get to talk about the music in this one. These are my magical singing pipes. Something that stands out to me about these characters is the,
We hope you're all having as much fun at Circus World as we are.
the way they speak.
I'll be your friend, Lucky.
It's very... It sounds very condescending a majority of the time, when I know the voice actors are trying to sound clean and friendly.
Don't touch that switch, Peter, or Bodini will fly across the room.
It makes Lucky and Peter specifically sound so sarcastic.
It looks like Bodini missed again.
But Bodini's all right.
I saw his feet moving.
Okay, Bodini, we'll try again in your next show.
He's the fabulous flying boat.
It's funny. It's actually great. It might just be me, but I hear them sneering at each other. The Circus World Jamboree was definitely targeted towards a younger demographic, and this really shows in the songs. The music tends to sound very basic and clean, especially with the way the characters sing and speak. But, what? I don't listen to music intended for 3 to 12-year-olds. Me? No. Okay, but hear me out. These songs are absolute bops. The Fabulous Flying Bodini? The Mystery Show? The Magical Singing Pipes? There are 19 regular songs in the Circus World Jamboree's catalog. I learned the hard way that Americans spell catalog. I don't spell it that way. I've divided the 19 songs into 4 types. Below I'll have the composer's official name for the song, and then I'll have Advanced Animation's official name. Our first category is interactive songs. These are songs that call for interaction. Lucky Says, which is just Simon Says. The Circus World Jamboree Sing-Along and the Patriotic Show are both sing-alongs. And the Circus Train, the Locomotion. The second category is character songs, which is pretty straightforward. Basically, they are songs about each character. So the song Hanky the Clown is about Hanky the Clown. The song The Fabulous Flying Bodini is about the Fabulous Flying Bodini. Barney the Bear is about Barney the Bear. The Magical Singing Pipes is about Peter and his pipes. And Lucky and Lucy is about Lucky and Lucy. There's no like side segments for the characters to interact, so in order to teach children who the characters are, they do it in song. The third category is regular. This is just regular music. Songs for the characters to sing and you to listen to when you eat pizza. We have the Circus World Parade, We Want to Be Your Friend, Circus World Hoedown, Animals and People, Circus World Hop, Fun at the Circus, and Come to the Circus. A lot of circus songs if you've noticed. And our last section is plot-driven songs. These are songs with continuity or storytelling within the canon of the show. The Circus World Jamboree is about how the Circus World Jamboree got together, started a band. The song is on loan from another circus establishment. Then we have the Mystery Show, which is in continuity with Bodini stuck in a wall. Bodini gets stuck in a wall in the Mystery Show, and then later when the characters come back, they sing Bodini stuck in a wall. And it sounds so mocking. They're sneering at each other. There are also 7 Christmas song covers that we're not really going to go into because they're just covers of Christmas songs that you already know. So avid automated band listeners may notice something about the music in Circus World Jamboree. Something suspicious. I said we would talk about it. I just saw something move, and it was an inanimate object. If you've ever listened to the 1980s Circus Playhouse Band, and then you listen to the 1990s Circus World Jamboree, you'll squint with your ears, because there's something suspicious going on here. Exhibit 1.
We took the circus instruments and learned how to play a lion named Lionel.
We took the circus instruments and learned how to play
A lion named Lucky.
Exhibit 2.
The circus playhouse circus, where we'll eat and play and sing for all we're worth.
Come to the Circus World Circus, where we'll laugh and eat and play for all we're worth.
Exhibit 3.
We could visit my friends in the circus tent when nobody else is around.
We could visit my friends in the circus tent when nobody else is around.
And I see, ladies and gentlemen, could there be thievery going on here? No. It's crazy, right? No, not really. That's because the Circus Playhouse Band and the Circus World Jamboree have a very specific link in common, and that would be their composer, Bobby Gosh. Bobby Gosh composed not only the music for Circus World Jamboree, but he composed the music for Circus Playhouse Band. He obviously pulled a lot from his earlier work, and with Circus Playhouse Incorporated defunct at this time, no one was really gonna stop him. Do what you want, Bobby. Not many people can say they've composed for 2 separate animatronic circus bands. On Advanced Animation's website, in the song catalog for Circus World Jamboree, there's 2 more songs that we have not even touched on. The first is kind of obviously missing from my song chart, and that's The Birthday Show. Where's The Birthday Show? I can't find a recording of it, and it's kind of strange. You'd think it would be on the official album. I don't know. So obviously Advanced Animations has a birthday show tape for Circus World Jamboree. I'm done talking about The Birthday Show. And then we have another song, Just Say No, Be a Hero. Obviously a preachy song about drugs. So Advanced Animations has another animatronic band called Good Time Jamboree, or the Melody Farm Follies. And they have this song in their discography, and you can go listen to it right now. So I'm not sure if the Circus World Jamboree voice actors did a version of this song, or if it's just the Farm Follies version programmed to work with the Circus World Jamboree animatronics. Or it's a typo, and this song is not supposed to be on the song catalog for Circus World Jamboree. I just can't imagine Lucky the Lion's voice actor singing about not doing drugs. I just can't really envision it. Cosmo and Wanda, their main characters, they're married. They had a kid, didn't they? They don't count. That would have been a really good one too. Dang. I'll think of something. The Brunswick Corporation is a company's company. They have many different branches and products and do whatever they can to make money and up stocks and hire businessmen. They are a company, like the most generic American company you can think of. Circus World Pizza was a cold business experiment from the start, and when it wasn't making the money they wanted, in a very oversaturated market, all the locations were axed, sold, shut down, gone. Circus World Pizza isn't mentioned anywhere in their company website, the history, or Wikipedia, but you can find old company quarterly reports from 1995 admitting that they lost a lot of money thanks to Circus World Pizza and golf. I will say this on the oversaturation of the market of FECs. My comment earlier about going to these places for a price. Why do that when you can just go to a McDonald's play place for free? Circus World Pizza didn't stand a chance. Here's my map. There were 7 locations of Circus World Pizza open, and if you look at the map, you might notice that there's something wrong with it. Ignore that. It's a printing error. But there's only 6 locations on the map. Why is that? The first location I mentioned, there was like a soft opening. The next 2 locations opened in Coral Spring and Bloomingdale, which was closer to the Brunswick Corporation's headquarters. The next year in 1994, there was one open in Hendersonville, Duluth, Eden Prairie, and then the 7th location is somewhere over here. It's just a big circle around Southern California. I need somebody to like remember going there, and it would have been a really quick turnaround. When Circus World Pizza closed, they didn't destroy any of the animatronics. Usually when companies are getting rid of things like this, they have to destroy it because they don't want someone sketchy using their IP. But since Circus World Pizza was shutting down like for good, they just sold things off. Remember, they're a company's company. They gotta make profit. If they're gonna sell something, they will. The animatronics were split up to collectors or sold back to Advanced Animations. The company repurchased 3 shows from the closing operations and still had 1 new show in stock. And to this day, you can purchase your own Circus World Jamboree. But what was the fate of the other 4 band sets? Storyland in Bartlett, New Hampshire had a show running up until at least 2006. The Hendersonville Circus World location sold their animatronics to Guntown Mountain, which were promptly, roughened. They were eventually auctioned off and are currently in the hand of collectors. If anything, I would say I don't know of anyone who owns a Bodini or a Hanky the Clown. There was also a stationery set recently put on display in Southern California. And you can see them at Castle Park in Riverside. Oh no. I know where that is. Oh. Oh yeah. Don't get used to this. The things I do for you. Listen, if we have access to the animatronic band that I'm talking about, we gotta go see them. I've never actually seen the Circus World Jamboree before in person, so let's go get them, gang. Okay, so I wasn't planning on showing any of the footage of me getting there, but the front entrance was locked. I could not find a way to get into the park. I looked like an absolute buffoon. Ever feel like you're about to get murdered going into a theme park? Why was Castle Park doing this to me? Finally, I found a hole in the fence. So this is the back entrance. There was a front entrance and it is shut. And all the signs say to go there. I made it. Behold. Okay, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I didn't think I'd make it. I really didn't think this place would be open. I actually don't think it is open. But I don't want them to know I'm here because they might kick me out. I wasn't exaggerating. Absolutely no one was here. And I was worried if I made too much noise, I would be promptly removed. But finally seeing the band in person brought out the details, just things I'd never noticed before. For example, I never noticed that Peter was sitting on an ice block, or that his hat would be held on by Velcro. I also for some reason thought that the pipe's eyes were mechanical, but no, they're painted on. Barney has a painted belly button. I hate it. And Lucky's wrinkles, I do wish that they were sewn in. Instead, they're painted on, which looks fine from far away, like how stage makeup does. But up close, it definitely leaves something to be desired. He looks so mad. Feet. So these animatronics have been at Castle Park for quite a while. I remember seeing photos of them in the back rooms about a decade ago now. Just hanging out. It was only this year, 2024, that they were moved and put on display for people to see. They aren't operating and don't have any plans to be, but they are being looked after. It's nice that they're on display at all. That guy looks familiar. This is actually the clearest I've ever seen Mighty Mac the Mouse, because I'm seeing him with my eyeballs, but also, this is probably the clearest digital shot he's ever had. Hanky the Clown is also on display. You have no idea how nice it is to see these figures in real life. Being able to see their dimensions, their textures. They're just crunchier in my mind somehow. You may have noticed no Lucy, and no Bodini. Well, I was eventually caught in the restaurant, and a nice employee there told me that there were no other animatronics hidden in the back. I've never seen a picture of Lucy at Castle Park, but they definitely had a Bodini. Maybe the employee didn't know, or maybe Bodini was sold. As I was making my leave, I realized that the section of the park I was in wasn't open yet. I just kind of walked in. Employees were just watching me wander around and take photos. The manager came in and was like, "Who the f is that?" But that's okay because I was done. Glad I was able to get in, very sneakily, because I'm a sneaky guy. It was so worth it being able to see them in real life, even though Lucky was looking kinda... I'm so soft for the Circus World Jamboree. If I failed to mention anything, or if you know any hearsay, or if I get anything wrong, which I can amazingly do, hop it down below. Reach out to me because I want to know. I want to know. Please. I'm Raya. I make videos about things I like. I have a webcomic. I have a video game coming out in 2026. I'm going to make more videos like this. I have a couple of videos planned that aren't all this. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, but I'm going on vacation. Though you know how to keep up with me, you tech whiz you. Check out all the links and articles I referenced throughout this video below. What else? Oh, wait. Roger and Jessica Rabbit. They're main characters. They're married. They're child-free. Thank you. Thank you.